going. And I was like,
wait, how talk?
Who's introducing this episode?
Who voice say what?
So, hi, welcome back to Gay by Gay.
Welcome, I hope you're having a very good day today.
Yes.
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 Yes. So today, my friends, my folks, my
Flockings.
flockings?
No, don't say that. I think this is coming out before that episode, so be sure to tune in to some of our future ALR poetry reading episodes, our reaction episodes, in order to understand the flocking reference. Flocking.
Yes.
You're going to hear a lot of references from that probably because we just finished recording a great episode.
Yes.
It's top notch, like chef's kiss. Mwah,
very tasty.
So good. Just the seasoning on it.
The seasoning
on it is so good, you guys. Be sure to check that one out.
Anyways, we are talking about traveling today, like
Travel.
zoom. Sadly, haven't gotten to travel much.
I was going to say, by the time you've kind of been old enough to really do a lot of traveling, COVID.
Yeah, it's true.
Screw you, borders are closed. That's it.
But, I mean, for me, traveling, I haven't traveled too much in my lifetime before.
I was going to say, even before that, I think the farthest you went was with us to different dance competitions, like going over to Alberta.
We did Moose Jaw, we did Regina. Which was just for, like,
Wide
competition.
set Regina. Wide set Regina.
No.
No? Wide set Regina.
No, stop saying. I mean, we didn't do enough, like, touristy stuff when we were there.
I mean, Moose Jaw was really difficult. I think we actually did everything in Moose Jaw.
Yeah, because it's small.
It's very small. I think we literally did every tourist attraction in Moose Jaw. We went to, like, the really famous restaurant that had, like, the giant milkshakes and everything. We did the underground tour.
That was fun. I like that.
And we looked at a lot of the old buildings, and I don't know that there was much more to find. Moose Jaw is kind of a bumpkin town, although very charming in a weird way.
Very nice.
Charming.
Yeah, I liked running down the street in the middle of the night.
Oh, yeah.
And getting honked at.
Yeah, you guys did have fun with that.
But
I remember Brooke, one of the girls that was with us, had a great time trying to set me up with one of the shop attendants who looked like a skater boy, and I said, "See you later, boy."
And everything was so expensive in that store. Oh
it was awful. It was awful.
Yeah, and what we did do in Regina that I loved was we went to Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh gosh, I remember that. You are obsessed with Chuck E. Cheese.
I love Chuck E. Cheese.
See, this is the one reason that you're not ready to let go of the company yet, because you're gonna be like, no. At the very least, I need to go as a chaperone so I can go to Chuck E. Cheese.
What I know now is that under any circumstance, I should not gamble.
No.
Considering how excited I got about Chuck E. Cheese.
Yep, not good.
Oh my gosh, it was so fun though.
And can I just say, the entire time we were at Chuck E. Cheese, I spent the entire time sitting in a booth, pressed up against the wall, because I am actually somewhat nervous around animatronics. I don't know if that was my exposure to Five Nights at Freddy's at a young age or what that was, but they make me very uncomfortable just from a sanitary point of view. Those things are disgusting.
The mouse guy was like pretty far in the back, though. He would have been okay.
He was disgusting. Did you see his outfit?
Yeah.
It was disgusting. He looked like Pennywise who just came up out of the sewers.
And then,
did not like.
When I was a kid, like, where we live in Canada, it's like a thing to go down to the States and go shopping.
Oh, it's because our city is quite close to the border, so it's nothing. Because I think it only takes about an hour to an hour and 45 minutes
ish
to get to the border.
Yeah, but like, I don't even know like if our dollar was really good back then, but it was like
our dollar is almost always trash compared to the U.S. Like we're almost 25 cents down.
I know, but like when I was younger, I always thought like, oh yeah, it's so much cheaper in the States. That why people go there. Like, you know what I mean?
Thing is, it is technically cheaper but for us with the conversion, it's a little different.
Yeah, but when I think I was about 8 or 9, we went down to the States. We never got as far as Fargo, but we did Grand Forks like twice.
Oh, Grand Forks is so popular for shopping. Because the Fargo trip usually takes around 4 hours of driving from where we live.
Yeah.
You know, people are going to find us just based on that. They're going to go, what Canadian city is 4 hours away from Fargo?
Yeah, and then they're going to find out and be disappointed.
Yeah, they're going to be very sad.
I'm not stepping foot there.
Stepping foot there?
I ain't stepping foot there, eh?
Nope, not there. Not there.
And then we did, me and my mom and my sister, shortly before or after I graduated, on a long weekend, we went to Kenora. We did the big drive there.
Kenora's quite nice.
Kenora was nice. We did a little museum there. There was some nice quotes.
I miss going to museums. And the thing that annoys me, every time I want to go to like a museum or an art gallery or something, no one ever wants to go with me.
Yeah.
Because the last time we went somewhere, my mom, sister, and I went over to BC because I was doing my acrobatic certification.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to some of the museums there. My mother and sister both looked at me, told me I was boring, and said, no, we're absolutely not doing that. So we didn't do that.
I like museums. I think they were kind of fun. My mom, bless her heart, anytime we see anything, she's like, you gotta take a picture of that.
That is your mom.
And I'm like, no, we're not gonna look at these pictures ever again, Mom.
Your mom.
I know. She's sweet, though.
She is.
She just wants the memories.
The biggest trip you have made by far, though, was your trip to London to film
in
a music video.
Yeah, that was fun. Got the scholarship for that twice, and then went, and that was nerve-wracking because I was freshly
That was literally
18.
Days before the border closed. Like, I remember messaging you on Messenger, and I was like, Aliyah, be prepared to buy a ticket, and if you get one, I don't care how much people offer you in monetary value, do not sell your ticket and get back here.
I know, everyone... My dad especially was like, you should come home like a day early or something. But to come home a day early would have costed us $3,000. And I already had my home ticket the next day.
Well, that's because the price was going up and everyone was looking because the Canadian government at that point was like, we are going to close the borders. And we were like, oh my God, get back here. Yeah. So, like, you literally went, like, right before, because even while you were there, things were starting to shut down, which was unfortunate. Like, you're one hop across the pond.
There were never any mask mandates, though. So
Not yet.
I went to England and rode the packed, what is it called? The underground, like, the trains.
The tube?
Yeah, I rode the tube, packed, every day.
Please mind the gap.
Yes.
You heard that? You heard that? Yep. Please mind the gap.
Every single day I was there for that week. And no one was wearing masks. It was really weird. I will say, though, it is so weird being a Canadian anywhere else. Because...
Yeah, I understand that.
I remember being... Even on the buses here, sometimes people will be like, you won't know anyone, and people will be like, oh, hi, how are you? I like your earrings. I like your hat, whatever. And there, like, no one makes eye contact.
It's the weirdest thing. And, like, okay, I can say this because I have been to quite a few countries. I've done quite a bit of traveling. Yeah. That is very typical of other countries. Yeah. Like, you don't realize how strange our country is until you go somewhere else and realize that we aren't the norm.
Oh my gosh.
Because you sit there and go, oh, that's so strange here. Yeah. They're not the strange ones. Yeah. We're the aliens.
I know.
We're the weird ones. Like, it is nothing. If we walk somewhere and we see someone who's wearing something nice,
smile, or
it's nothing. It's nothing to just be like, oh my gosh, I love what you're wearing.
Yeah. Or like, cute dog. Like,
the number of times I've gone out for runs. Yeah. There are two big dogs that live, like, in the apartment across from mine, and sometimes their owner goes out for runs as well. Yeah. I get so excited when I'm coming back from my run. I will always stop, because they're, like, two giant, like, Great Pyrenees dogs. Yeah. I will always stop and pet them, and we always talk for, like, 5 minutes. But that's the way we are. Yeah. Over there, you'll never, if someone runs into you, no one says sorry, no one says anything. What? They just keep going. They just keep going.
That's so weird.
And for me as a Canadian, I'm like, oh my God, I'm sorry. Oh my God, sorry. Yeah. Like, constantly. Yeah. Oh, you don't realize how weird that is. Because they just look at you like, are you okay?
Like, it's just so weird to be on this, like, packed, enclosed space, and nobody's looking at each other. No one's being like, oh, I read that book before, or, like...
No one's making eye contact. No one, I mean, to be fair, when I ride the bus here... Mm-hmm. I also try not to make eye contact with people, but normally that's because I have to ride through some of the worst areas of town, and normally the people getting on the bus in that area are like meth heads, so you try not to make eye contact with them, because if you do make eye contact with them...
They're going to steal your cheese?
They're going to steal your cheese. No, they see that as like an invitation to like come over, try to talk to you, and then immediately ask you for money. Yeah. Very uncomfortable experience, so don't make eye contact with meth heads. They will steal your cheese.
I think my greatest achievement in life so far is the fact that I did the tube ride, the hour-and-a-half tube ride from the hotel to the airport with my suitcase and my carry-on by myself when I was 18.
Huge.
And no data on my phone. Huge. No calling on my phone.
Yeah, that is... Ooh.
I mean, I did my research. Especially
given the fact that you look like you're 12, like, that was a risk.
Everyone was pissed off at me because I had my, like, suitcase and all that, and it kept, like, sliding around, and it was peak time. It was, like, 8 a.m.
And you're like, because everyone's going off to work, and it was like, oh, goddamn tourists.
And I got to the airport, and I didn't have to talk to anyone. It was nice. But, I did my research the night before. I took screenshots of the routes and stuff. Yep. But, and I was like... My mom was like, well, why don't you just pay for a taxi to the airport? A taxi would have costed us, like, 150 Canadian.
It's ridiculously expensive.
It was far away from the airport.
You take the tube Like, that is just what you do.
Our hotel was super far from the airport, too. And when I went to the airport, it was packed because everyone was going home because of COVID.
Yep.
And in line,
Yep.
I got into the line for Air Canada. And this lady, this really nice lady, she turns around and she looks at me and she goes, "Oh, are you going to Canada?" And I go, "Yeah, are you going to Canada?" She goes, "Yeah, I'm going back to BC. Where are you from?" And we start talking like Canadians, and it was
typical Canadians right there. Like, if you need to know what Canadians are like, we will find each other and we will talk to each other.
And it was so nice because all week I've been hearing people with accents or people like, I don't know, it's just weird
hearing another person with like the same voice as you is very odd again.
Yeah,
You're like,
the same like Canadian vibe.
Yep,
it was
just
really
like,
nice.
Friendly person.
Especially because I'm like in this airport, I'm terrified. I don't know where I'm going. It's packed.
No, most important question: What did you think of the flight?
Oh, I love flying.
Oh, I hate you.
I know you hate it. I
hate
love
flying.
It.
I hate flying.
It was really weird because my flight to London was empty. I got 3 seats all to myself. I laid down and I slept. And then my flight coming home...
What the hell kind of plane were you on?
I know!
Were you kissed by the gods? What the hell?
Apparently. And then my flight home, it was packed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to take a break here.
Yes,
and when we come back, I'll talk a little bit about my London experience.
Your travels.
I have traveled to so many places. Yeah. We're probably going to restrict it to, like, London or in that area because, trust me, I can easily fill, like, 9 different episodes with the places I've been. Trust me.
Hello, welcome back.
We are back.
And flying.
Flying?
Where are we flying to, Abby?
We're still just in London, my dude. Okay. Aliyah suggested I give a quick rundown of some of the places that I have been because I have done a lot of traveling in my fairly short time on this planet.
Yes.
Okay, just going really quick. I've been to London, Paris, Florence, Rome. I've been to Pompeii. I've been to Athens. I have been through Switzerland on the bullet train. That's a long story in and of itself. We're going to get into that at some point. I've been through Germany in the airport. Felt like I was in the Amazing Race. It was a very strange experience. Been all over Canada. The only place I haven't really been in Canada is the East Coast, but I really want to go to the East Coast. But been all over the West Coast, all through Ontario and everything. Been through Niagara Falls, Toronto, all that jazz. Been to New York. I've been to 3 of the Hawaiian Islands. I've been to, California, San Diego specifically. My mom, my sister, and I have been through like 6 different states on a road trip shortly after my dad died. I have been to Wisconsin, Dallas, as I mentioned in a previous episode at some point. I have been to Kentucky once because I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated it. Nothing against Kentucky. If you live in Kentucky, you're great. I love you. I don't do heat well. But I have been to so many different places that for this specific episode, we are just going to stick to some of my London stories.
Yeah.
Because we would be like 9 hours.
Okay. Why were you in London?
It was actually a school trip at the time, believe it or not. Schools used to do that before the age of COVID.
Yeah.
They used to be like, hey, does anyone want to go to Europe? And if you said, yeah, I want to go to Europe, and you had enough dollars, you got to go to Europe.
Yeah.
So we went to Europe.
Yeah.
So for us, we went through Toronto because with where we live in the middle of the prairies. We can't just fly across the ocean. There is no plane that has enough gas to make that far.
No, you gotta do Pearson International before you go out.
Yep. So because my sister went on like a same kind of variation of the trip because they went to different locations every year. So when she went, she did like Scotland, Wales, and all of that, which I'm super jealous about. Really want to go to the Highlands because obviously, hello, Scottish over here.
Yeah.
But she did the flight out of Montreal. We did the flight out of Toronto. So we got to Toronto. And yeah, if anyone knows anything about me, I am terrified of flying.
Yeah.
All because of one bad incident. And the bad incident happened when we were going to San Diego. So when I discuss my San Diego travels, I will definitely tell you guys about that story because it was not a good situation. Plane nearly crashed.
Yeah.
Bad situation, bad situation.
Yeah.
So I am terrified of flying, which is ironic because my mom used to be a pilot and my uncle is a pilot in the Air Force.
Yeah.
So strange thing to be afraid of.
Yeah.
But, I was crying pretty much the entire time.
Yeah.
I cry every takeoff and I cry every landing because I am terrified. Plane to London. I got no sleep.
Yeah.
There was a child running up and down the aisles.
What? How do they let them do it?
long. The parents were sleeping.
But the attendant...
They kept walking him back,
Oh.
and then the kid would get up, and the parents would still be asleep, and the kid would be off running again.
Oh, my God.
So I got no sleep. So we left at like 5:30 in the morning from where we live. By the time we landed in London, it was like 7 a.m. in London.
Yeah, I know.
Had not slept.
Yeah.
Longest day of my life. So
Yeah.
first day of the trip, where do they decide to take us? You think, okay, these kids have been on a plane all night. Are they going to let us sleep the first day?
Yeah.
No. Where did they take us?
Where?
The Natural History Museum.
Oh, of course.
Perfect place to go with a bunch of tired teenagers.
Yeah, of course.
And, you know, as someone who would have loved, I would love to go back because I remember nothing about it because I was so goddamn tired.
Yeah.
Our group was bad enough. If you looked at benches and railings,
Yeah.
some of our students were falling asleep on them. Like finding benches, laying down
Yeah.
and sleeping because they were so exhausted.
Yeah.
I didn't personally, but let me tell you, I was so disappointed. No dinosaurs.
No?
No dinosaurs.
Oh, very sad.
No dinosaurs. I was so sad about it. I saw pots.
I like
Pots. There was a pot.
Yeah.
There was another pot.
Yeah.
That was a broken pot.
I like me some dinos.
Yeah, no dinosaur bones. I was very sad. A lot of it was pots and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So, you know, when you're tired, there's only so much you can focus. My friend CZ and I ended up going, there was a Starbucks across the street. Biggest freaking cookies you've ever
Yeah.
seen. They were bigger than my face. It was astonishing. I was like, whoa. Are we in America? Everything's supersized.
Everything's big.
So, after the Natural History Museum, they took us to a dinner theater for the night. As
Yeah.
you can imagine, a lot of kids falling asleep in the
Yeah,
booths because
yeah.
it's dark in there. I am a theater buff, so
Yeah.
of course I was actually engaged
Yeah,
in what we were doing.
good.
Tired, but engaged.
Yeah.
We get back, and we finally get to go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Great, perfect. I'm an insomniac, so number one, I only got about 2 hours of sleep, even after being awake for nearly 48 hours at that point.
Yeah.
Because I'd been so excited I couldn't sleep before,
Yeah.
didn't sleep on the plane, had to go all day.
Yeah.
I only got about 2 or 3 hours of sleep, so I'm sitting up in bed reading.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do, right?
Yeah.
So the teachers had this rule where when they knocked on the door, you had to answer the door, and whoever you were rooming with,
Yeah.
everyone had to have their feet on the floor.
Oh.
Basically, you couldn't be laying down in bed because they didn't trust you as a teenager to get up.
Yeah.
So the rule was, you have to open the door when we knock, and we have to see everybody with their feet on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fine. So, knocks come on the door, and I'm like, okay, we need to get up. So I shove CZ,
Yeah.
and I'm like, dude, get your feet on the floor.
Yeah.
Teachers are here.
Yeah.
So she stands up, and she is dead on
Yeah.
her feet. She is exhausted.
Yeah, I bet.
She is not used to this type
Yeah.
of travel.
Yeah.
So teachers come in, do the check, they leave, that's fine. She flops back down on the bed. She's
Yeah.
exhausted, and I just go back to reading because
Yeah.
I'm like, I got time. I'm
Yeah.
not worried. And we're laying there, and all of a sudden, and it's just us in the room. So let me make that very clear. It's just us in
Yeah.
the room. In her sleep-addled state, she suddenly looks over at me, like she's laying face down on the bed.
Yeah.
And suddenly I see her face look towards me.
Yeah.
And I'm reading, and I see this in my peripheral vision. And I look over at her, and she goes, Abby, do you hear it? And I stop, and I'm listening for a second, and I don't really hear much. And I'm like, hear what? And she's like, there's someone in our room. And I'm like, I'm sitting there with this book in my hand, and I look around the room, and you have to realize with the way the hotels there worked. I look over to the door. It's dead bolted shut because I dead bolted it after the teachers left. There's one room.
Yeah.
We are on like the third floor, by the way.
Yeah.
One window. It has bars on the window.
Yeah.
So I look at the bars on the window. I look at the locked door, and I'm like, there is no one in here.
Yeah.
And the hotel there that we were staying in reminded me much more of like a university dorm.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't even a closet or anything, my dude. Like it was
A
there
cheap
was,
one.
There was like a closet.
Yeah.
But that was the bathroom.
Yeah.
That was it. So I'm sitting there going, there is no one in this room.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, what do you mean, CZ? And she goes, I hear them whispering. And I'm sitting here going, okay, so either my best friend just turned into like a schizophrenic maniac or something else is going on. And I was like, what do the voices sound like? Dead ass. She goes, they sound like and I'm sitting there with this book in my hand, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, what? What is happening? So I stop and I'm listening, and I think I realize what she's talking about, and I'm like, CZ, I think what you're listening to are the pipes.
Yeah.
I think someone in the next room over is taking a shower.
Yeah.
What she was listening to, what she thought were human whispers. was water.
He was tired.
Water running through the pipes because some of the kids next door were in the shower. And I'm sitting there, and I'm laughing so hard, and she's like, oh, it sounded like whispers. So I look at her from the bed, and I'm like, oh, yeah, sorry, that's just Greg. I brought him with me in my suitcase. I don't have any clothes. I just brought this random man with me. He lives under my bed. He's going to be following us around on this entire trip. I hope you don't mind. So anytime CZ, like, she's a very paranoid person, so anytime she heard anything, I would just go, oh, no, sorry, it's Greg.
Yeah, Greg.
It's Greg. He's following me. But just... She must have been so exhausted to not recognize, like to think that the sound of water in pipes was someone in our room whispering.
I mean, our time zone to London is a change.
It's a change.
It's a change.
Being up, she didn't sleep on the plane either with this kid, and like she must have been exhausted. But I still to this day bring it up with her, and I still laugh about it. It's so funny to me.
Hey Abby, when we go traveling, what do I do in bed at night?
You freaking psychopath. This one over here just randomly sits up in the middle of the night. So, me having insomnia, just a little aside from the London adventures, when we went to Moose Jaw and when we went to Regina, we ended up having to share rooms. So we did like a cycle thing where all of us would take different turns buddying up with someone to like sleep in the bed, right? Because there was like a pull-out bed and then there was another bed. Yeah. So we just kind of cycled through. So I remember laying there, being the insomniac that I am. I'm just laying there awake in the dark. And I feel Aliyah sit up next to me. I'm like, oh, something must be wrong. Yeah. So I turn and I look over my shoulder. And I see Aliyah sitting bolt upright in bed. And she's looking over in the same direction that I was looking. So like her head is turned away from me. And she's looking towards like the pull-out couch bed. And she's staring at the girls over there. And I'm like, maybe she heard something. And so I go, Aliyah, are you okay? And, like, very slowly, like, this sounds like a demon story, I swear to God. This freaking girl slowly turns her head to look at me. And already I'm sitting there, like, I'm laying on my right side, looking over my left shoulder. I see her slowly pan her face to look at me. Glasses off, she can't see shit all.
I can't see anything.
She squints at me, nods her head, lays back down, rolls over, and is immediately asleep again. And I sat there.
I do that.
Horrified for like 5 minutes. Like, what just happened? I was like, was this some sort of like weird sleepwalking thing? What happened?
I don't know.
Terrifying in the middle of the night because I didn't know that you did that.
I know I do that.
And so I bring it up with you the next day, and then she goes, oh yeah, I do that sometimes. Like, sometimes I just wake up and I want to make sure I'm not missing anything, so I just check on everything. Yeah. Terrifying for me. Terrifying. Thought she was possessed. Yeah. Awful. Terrible.
It was good.
It was not good. I was scared out of my mind because I had no idea that was even a thing. And I was just looking at you like, what the hell?
I know.
What the hell? Terrified. So at some point, I'm sure we'll be talking about travels again because I'm not even through with my London stories. That's the first day of the London story. Don't even get me started on the tube. Don't even get me started.
All right, guys. Hope you liked this episode. And I can't talk. I hope you're having a great day, y'all. Take it gay. Bye, gay guys.
Bye.